The rain hammered against the coffee shop window like it was trying to break in, but inside, the air was thick with the scent of espresso and unspoken regrets. Maya stood behind the counter, wiping the same spot for the third time, her eyes flicking to the door every few seconds. She wasn't waiting for a customer. She was waiting for the past to walk in and ruin everything. And then it did. The bell jingled. A man stepped inside, shaking rain from his expensive coat, tailored, black, the kind that cost more than her monthly rent. He scanned the room with the calm authority of someone used to owning every space he entered. When his gaze landed on her, time fractured. His face paled, then flushed with something raw and unguarded. Recognition hit him like a punch. Maya froze. The cloth slipped from her fingers. Alexander Hale. The boy who'd once promised her forever under a summer sky. The man who'd vanished without a word 8 years ago, leaving her shattered and alone. Now he was here, older, sharper, undeniably a billionaire CEO if the headlines she'd tried to ignore were true. And the look in his eyes said he hadn't forgotten her either. He needed a fake wife for one weekend. Just to get through his sister's wedding without the family pity, the endless questions about why the successful, untouchable Alexander Hale was still single. He never expected the agency to send her. Maya had answered the ad on a whim. Temporary companion for family event. $10,000 for 3 days. Discretion required. She was drowning in medical bills from her mother's long illness, the kind that insurance laughed at. Pride had kept her from asking for help, desperation finally won. The meeting was in a sleek downtown office that smelled of leather and power. She arrived in her best dress, simple navy, second-hand but clean, feeling like an imposter. The assistant led her to a conference room where Alexander waited alone, staring out at the city like it owed him answers. When he turned, the world narrowed to the space between them. "Maya," he said, voice low, almost reverent. Not a question. A confession. She lifted her chin. "Mr. Hale. Or do I call you Alex still?" He flinched, just barely. "Alex is fine. For the weekend." They sat across from each other like strangers negotiating a contract, but every glance carried history. He explained the situation. His sister Lila's wedding was in 3 days at their family estate upstate. Their mother had been dropping hints about grandkids and settling down for years. The pressure had become unbearable after his last public breakup splashed across tabloids. He needed a believable fiancé to deflect the attention, smile for photos, charm the relatives. Nothing physical. Nothing real. Just a performance. "And why me?" Maya asked, though part of her already knew. He hesitated. "The agency sent profiles. Yours stood out." "Liar," she said softly. "You saw my name and picked me anyway." Alexander looked away. "I didn't expect it to be you. But when I saw the photo, I couldn't choose anyone else." She almost laughed. Almost cried. "You disappeared, Alex. No call, no note. I waited months thinking something happened to you. Then I saw you on the news, new company, new life, new women. You moved on." "I didn't," he said, the words rough. "I thought leaving was protecting you. My family, they had plans for me. Expectations. You deserved better than being dragged into that world." She stared at him. "You decided what I deserved without asking." Silence stretched, heavy with unsaid apologies. "I'll do it," she said finally. "For the money. Not for old times. Not for you." He nodded, relief and pain warring in his eyes. "Thank you." They signed the agreement. Fake names for the backstory: they'd met at a charity event 2 years ago, dated quietly, recently engaged. A simple ring appeared from his pocket, diamond, elegant, cold. He slipped it on her finger, and both of them felt the jolt. The drive to the estate was quiet, rain giving way to golden autumn light. Maya stared out the window, twisting the ring. Alexander kept glancing at her, like he was afraid she'd vanish again. At the sprawling Hale mansion, the family greeted them with warmth that felt genuine and probing all at once. Lila, radiant in her final wedding fittings, hugged Maya like they'd been friends forever. "I'm so glad Alex finally brought someone home," she whispered. "He's been alone too long." Their mother, elegant and sharp-eyed, studied Maya with a mix of curiosity and approval. "You have kind eyes," she said. "He needs that." Dinner was torture. Alexander's hand brushed Maya's under the table, accidental, then not. Each touch sent memories flooding back, stolen kisses in his old car, promises whispered in the dark. She pulled away, heart racing. Later, in the guest suite they were forced to share for appearances, the tension snapped. "Why did you really leave?" she asked, voice trembling. He sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on knees, head bowed. "My father was dying. He made me promise to take over the company, marry into a suitable family. I was 22, scared, stupid. I thought if I cut ties cleanly, you'd move on faster. Find someone who could give you normal." "Normal," she echoed bitterly. "I spent years wondering if I meant anything at all." "You meant everything," he said, looking up. Tears glistened in his eyes, the great Alexander Hale, crying. "I never stopped loving you, Maya. I just thought I wasn't allowed to." She turned away, wiping her own tears. "This is fake. Remember that." But as the night wore on, the lies felt thinner. He slept on the couch, she in the bed. Neither slept much. The next day brought rehearsals, laughter, toasts. Maya played her part perfectly, holding his hand, laughing at family stories, even dancing with him under string lights in the garden. Every spin brought them closer. Every glance lingered longer. Then Lila pulled Maya aside. "He looks at you like you're the only person in the world. I've never seen him like this. Not even close." Maya's heart cracked open. "It's not real." Lila smiled sadly. Maybe it was always real. He just needed a reason to face it. The wedding day dawned bright and cruelly beautiful. Maya helped Lila with her veil, fighting the ache in her chest. This was the end. Tomorrow she'd go back to her life, $10,000 richer, heart poorer. During the ceremony, she stood beside Alexander as he gave Lila away. His voice cracked on, "I love you, little sis." Maya saw the boy he'd been, vulnerable, protective. The man he'd become, still carrying that same heart, just buried deeper. At the reception, the band played slow songs. Alexander extended his hand. "One dance. For show." She took it. They moved across the floor, bodies close, breaths mingling. The world faded. "I can't pretend anymore," he whispered against her hair. "Seeing you again, it broke every wall I built. I never forgot you, Maya. Not one day. I built an empire to prove I could be worthy, but all I wanted was to come home to you." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "You hurt me, Alex. Badly. I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life making it right if you'll let me." The song ended. Guests clapped. They didn't let go. Later, under the stars on the terrace, away from the crowd, he dropped to one knee. Not with the contract ring. With a simple gold band he'd kept in his pocket for 8 years, the one he'd bought before he left, planning to propose. "This isn't fake," he said, voice raw. "Marry me. For real. Not for a weekend, not for family. For us." Maya looked at the ring, then at him, the man who'd broken her, the man who'd never stopped loving her. She nodded, tears falling freely. "Yes." They kissed as fireworks lit the sky for Lila's send-off, but the real celebration was theirs. Quiet, hard-won, true. In the end, what started as a desperate favor became the second chance neither had dared hope for. Love doesn't always arrive on time, but when it returns, if you're brave enough to open the door, it can heal every wound it once left behind. Sometimes, the fake becomes forever because the heart never really lied.